Welcome back to another episode of the Briefcase in the Barn, episode 44, a series of the Furious the Curious show where we talk about business, life, Christianity, and more. This is Gary's episode. Take it away.
Kyle texted me earlier and said, I have nothing to say. And I said, you are a liar and you're dumb. And you'll still spew verbal diarrhea once we get going, depending on what we talk about. You unsent the questions, man. They were good questions.
Yeah, I didn't want you to see them beforehand.
Okay.
I thought I was texting him to myself, and then I realized I was texting him to you.
Okay.
So I said,
I texted Kyle back and said, we'll talk about something fun. And there's a clip that we're going to watch if we're able to. I don't know if
I can watch it right now. We can start with it.
Yeah, sure. Let's just play it.
Gary said,
I got
sent me a
real kick out of it.
clip of Trump talking, so let's do it.
Yeah, just play her.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said,
Fat shot drug.
President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's just really offensive.
What part is offensive?
Well, all of it, probably. We'll see. It's going to be really offensive to some
I
people.
think this is why I love Trump, or one of the reasons I appreciate him, because like what you see is what you get. Like that's how he would talk in private. Like he's not a politician. He just
He's not a politician.
he
The
says
fat shot drug. Do you know anybody on Ozempic?
and then
He's talking about Ozempic.
I know, and then he's like, and then it's not, and he tells his buddy it's not working.
It's not working. Which only a true friend could say to their fat friend.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not working.
Yes, it's not working. I wonder if actually
I
Trump's
played this
autistic.
clip at a meeting this morning, at another meeting I was at,
Okay.
with a bunch of Dutch guys.
Okay.
And the general consensus was very divided. Some people were just like, man, you're fat because you eat too much. And other people are like, well, I can't help it. It totally makes sense to... They had all kinds of people in their lives that were taking Ozempic.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that common here locally?
It's
as well,
very
people?
common. I bet you we should do a poll. Do a poll.
poll.
Who's on Ozempic or who knows someone that's on Ozempic? It's extremely expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're here to here
Oh,
too?
yeah.
How
It's
much?
outrageous. I want to say it's $300 and $400 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
You could just go to Arbonne and actually be healthier and for
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Yeah. Poop through a straw and just drink foo-foo dust.
No, it stops you from pooping through a straw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Solidifies
maybe
everything.
I should try it. Anyways, I just thought it's going to totally be offensive to people that, like, some people take Ozempic very seriously. Ozempic is a drug for people that
Yeah. I
have
talked
diabetes.
about it with Ed Les. He's like, don't take it. You don't know idea what this is going to do to you for the next 20 years.
Okay. Totally against it. It's very controversial.
It's just the way that society works. Like, just give me a pill to fix my problems. They don't want to actually go do something about it. It's like just avoiding.
Would you feel that way if somebody was actually diabetic and was taking it legitimately, or you don't think anybody should take it?
I'm not saying nobody should take it, but for the large swath of the population, people are taking it because they don't want to go and take care of their bodies the way that God created us to take care of our bodies.
It is interesting, and I say obesity because obviously, whatever. Like, what does even overweight mean, and what is this?
Yeah.
It's like any other sin. It's nuanced to some degree, right? But it is fascinating how, and we've had sermons on it recently at church, and it's fascinating how it is definitely a thing that we do not address. Like, we'll call people on all kinds of sin, or we'll definitely gossip about other people, and I guess maybe people make fun of people because they're overweight, but like, really, like, nobody's lovingly coming to somebody and say, hey, man, like,
I mean, yeah, I think with most things, most people don't get challenged.
that one, nobody is. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
socially acceptable to
yeah.
be overweight, right?
Yeah,
And in the church, I think in particular, right, where it's just like,
Yeah.
I find it interesting. Well, even just the fact of like people taking an expensive drug to lose weight, but it was just interesting how, even socioeconomically, like, I think, I don't know if there's an actual, like, statistics to it about whether people that are lower on the socioeconomic scale are heavier or not. But like, it was interesting how even like I do the queue quite a bit lately with the kids, and like it seems like mostly
The queue is a hike.
the hike
Yeah.
to hike near us. It's moderately steep. Definitely for little kids, it's a grind, but pretty short. So it's good. And it seems like mostly wealthy people hiking there. And I mean, I'm just judging books by its cover, but the way people are dressed and the fact that people are driving Mercedes and other expensive vehicles. And like, you're not seeing like people from downtown Chilliwack hiking up this hike, right? It's just interesting. And it's interesting how people that are less, and I don't know where I was going with this, but Marie and I were talking about this the other day, like people that are poor, I think typically eat crappier food too.
Yeah.
And there again, I don't
Crappier food is cheaper, right? You go like that.
Is it?
Yeah. If you go to a grocery store, the outside of the grocery store is the healthier food. That's usually the more expensive stuff, like the meats
Milk,
and vegetables
dairy.
and milk, dairy. And then the crappier processed foods are in the center, and those are the cheap ones.
Milk's really expensive, especially in Canada.
Yeah. Stupid supply management. But,
Stupid small man.
anyways,
Our listener sent me the same message seconds after you sent it to me, a faithful listener. And it was interesting how, he wanted
the message about
having, and about how I'm pussyfooting around in a total wiener. And also that he thought we should have a panel that you and I should moderate it. I thought I needed to be in the discussion. I didn't know I was going to moderate it. I feel like I have quite a bit of skin in the game, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to have a discussion. And that even that Sylvan guy who he quotes, the food professor, I follow him on Twitter. Nobody challenges him. Like to my knowledge, he's never been publicly challenged. He just tries to eviscerate dairy farming in Canada. But like, I think
there's also a lot of people that have that post opinions online and won't allow themselves to be challenged. Right? Like they won't go to podcasts where they're going to be challenged or different places like that. So,
I think on all that issue and many others, it's not black and white. There's pros and cons to everything. So. Discussion's good, right? Let people decide.
Yeah, I think discussion's good, and I also think that sometimes the ideas of like it's not black and white or like it's nuanced can also kind of just allow both people to believe whatever they want to believe, and you never actually.
Fair enough. It also really intimidates people that are fearful of falsehoods. Like I think in our culture that I grew up in, where it was just so fearful of being wrong, like you just take a stance and it's the hill to die on every time and cling to it tightly and never deviate. For fear of being a bit wrong. And it's like, if you're that arrogant that you think you're never wrong now with what you believe, like, wake up.
Yeah. I got one. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.